Ken, Carlisle's fully fit again?
Yeah, Bobby's back. We've got to get through this morning still, but we expect him to train well today and be okay for tomorrow.
And Mitchell, will you look to use him as a sub again, you think?
Oh, look, we'll go through it. We haven't locked it in as yet, but we'll certainly go through it. He was good for us last time in the sub. You're always mindful of how much game time they need to.
Ken, it's an extraordinary week for you. As a coach and a coaching panel, how do you deal with the emotional issue to make sure the players go into the game still ready to play?
Yeah, look, we've got to bring them back to the focus of playing football as much as we possibly can. Obviously, there's some stuff that we won't be able to control, but we just got to remind the boys what makes them good players, I think, and that's then their job to go out and produce that sort of form that we want.
Have you sensed how listening to the videos that they've done, they all break up when they talk about John? How have you found them this week?
They've been really measured, I reckon. I think they know, that it's a significant game for them and the way they want to honour him. But importantly, I think they know that they can do that best by playing football. I haven't seen that. I mean, sure, when we get a bit closer to the game time tomorrow night, that may be a little bit different for them. But I hope that they're really measured. And once they can get through and play the game as well as they want, then there'll be probably some emotional letdown after that.
Ken, it was such an amazing performance against Melbourne in round one. How much, though, do you have to guard against everyone getting perhaps a little bit too far ahead of themselves and saying, it's only one win?
Yeah, I think we're lucky as a club. We understand where we're at. I don't think we're not fooled by one performance or by pre-season. We know that we have to turn up again and play good footy again tomorrow night in round 2 and round 3, and that's what AFL football demands of you. It's not always easy to do, but we've got to be going there thinking we have to play at our best.
What do you expect from the Giants? They've been impressive in round 1.
Yeah, look, having come from a young side myself, you understand that, they're going to give everything they've got, and we watched them play against Sydney last week. They've been really impressive. Their contested ball stuff, they beat Sydney in some of the areas that Sydney would mark themselves really well on, I reckon, in uncontested marks. So we've got to be mindful that this is a really talented young team, and if you give them space, they're going to be able to use that talent.
Just back on McCarthy, Ken, has it been hard for you to come in and know how to deal with it, or did you sort of seek the players' counsel and how best they would like you to handle it?
We've certainly had input with the players about what they would like and how they'd like to do it, because again, Alan Richardson and myself and Darren Burgess, who are sort of running the program a fair bit, is we haven't lived what they've had to live, and we're actually asking them what they'd like to do and how they'd like to do certain things. But then we got to take control and make sure we, as I said before, bring them back to footy.
Talked about regaining respect last week and obviously took the first step to that, but he's putting in a pretty big showing against GWS. Is that pretty important given the loss last year?
Look, I find every week important. That's me. I think I find every week you've got to turn up and play well, because we know what the game will do to you. If you don't perform the way you should, you're going to pay a price, and we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we come out and perform. I've said it before, I want Port Adelaide to play a certain way regardless of the outcomes, and if we can do that, we'll be okay.
You obviously were coaching in that game, and Brad Eva said during the week that he feels like it's almost in part a new club. Do you just pretend that last year didn't happen in terms of that game, or do you look at what you guys did wrong in that game?
Yeah, I think we have to focus on what we're doing now and what we have to do now, and make sure that we produce that sort of stuff that we've done through the pre-season and round 1, and make sure that comes out, because we know there's always opportunities in football to look back. It's a really dangerous thing to do.
Have you boiled down that win against Melbourne? Are there still things that you think need major work on, or?
Yeah, I thought we were, I thought early on in the game, I said, yes, we certainly got a comfortable win by the end, but I thought the 10 minutes early in the third quarter was pretty damaging as far as the way we went about what we were trying to set up, and we controlled the game in our half of the ground, and it took a little while to break the game, but once we were able to do that, the boys got reward for their effort, I reckon.
Ken, Robbie and Dom, far away, or were they close this week, or did you just say, boys, we're flying along beautifully, so have another week?
Flying along beautifully is not the way I'd describe it, but certainly I'm big on reward, and if you're doing the work, you need to be rewarded for it. And they both look. We've got a great group of players now underneath who are pushing up and playing some good SANFL football. We need to have that and keep it that way. And this is a brutal season. There'll be injuries, there'll be opportunities, and those players will come in. And Robbie and Dom and Brett Renouf, some of the older boys, Matt Thomas, there's a number of them who are right there, right ready to go. But at the moment, if the boys who are out there performing the way they should, they deserve first opportunity.
Ken, Phil Davis pointed out pretty well last night, there's a lot on the plate for this game tomorrow night. In your pre-game, which one of those issues do you focus on?
Our performance. I think that no doubt that we'll focus on our performance and make sure that we bring our performance, and if we do that, we'll be okay.
Did you build in McCarthy last year, Brad Ebert's 100th. How do they factor into what you're going to say to them?
The emotional part of football will always be there, I think, and they'll be recognised as they should be, and we'll recognise them then, and then hopefully go out and play the football that we need to play. It's really hard because the emotional part, you think, how long is it going to be? How long is it going to last? And once the contest starts, is it influencing the players and their behaviours? We'd hope not, because I know their behaviours will change their outcomes, and that's the most important thing for us. We've got to get the right behaviours.
Defence held up extremely well. Are you happy with that mix that you've got there now?
Yeah, we are. We've got a really strong. I mean, we've brought Stevenson, we've brought Heath into the mix from outside, and we've got a fit Pittard. And we've got Carlisle back this week, and certainly Trengove's been first class. In the last 3 or 4